Hey yo, what is up, Yount Squad, and welcome back to the vlog. Another day of working on the Jeep. Let me tell you what I just had to deal with though. So after cleaning up last night, I went inside. I had my socket wrench still in my pocket, so I'm like, oh, I just can't leave this sitting around because I know Luciano will end up finding it and playing with it. So I hid it inside a bag underneath some clothes on the stairs so that way I would know exactly where it is and Luciano wouldn't be able to find it. Well, sure enough, I went to go reach in the bag this morning and grab it, and it wasn't in there. So we were looking all around the house trying to find it, couldn't find it anywhere. We called Rachel's mom, we called Rachel's sister, seeing if they had seen it. And Rachel's mom said, yeah, Luciano was playing with it this morning. I took it and hid it from him. And guess what? When she took it and hid it, he managed to find it there as well. So we just spent the last 45 minutes looking around the house trying to find this. Luciano has this big Paw Patrol slide that you put little cars on, they go down the slide, stuff like that. And Luciano was using this as a car to make it go down the slide. So we got the socket wrench now. We're gonna work on hooking up the PCM and everything. I cleaned it off with electrical cleaner. We're gonna hook up the vacuum line for the PCV valve, gonna hook up the battery, reset the computer, and see if we're still having this issue. And if we are, guys, we are gonna be making a nice little road trip over to the junkyard today to get a new powertrain control module. So we got everything hooked back up. I ended up resetting the PCM. So what you do is you disconnect the battery, leave it disconnected. You gotta ground the battery to remove any sort of charge, hook the battery back up. You turn your key on, but you don't start it. You turn your headlights on, turn your headlights off, and then turn the key off. And what that does is it reprograms the PCM. So here we have the throttle position sensor. Get that plugged back in. Honestly, right now, the Jeep seems to be running fine, but here's the thing, guys. It ends up running fine, but as soon as I go to drive it, go to take it for a test drive and start putting some strain on the vehicle, on the transmission and stuff like that, that's when it starts acting funky. The motor starts acting funky. So we're gonna let this run for a few more minutes, let it warm up, and then we're gonna take it for a test drive, see if we're still having the problem. And if we are, guys, we're headed to the junkyard to get a new PCM. Ooh, guys, it is a super cold one today. The Jeep is warmed up. Battery voltage looks the same, everything like that. If you guys watched yesterday's vlog, you guys know we replaced the terminals for the battery, which, to be honest with you, a bad ground could have been causing these issues. The connection just could not have been good enough, so I went through, I fixed all the wires and everything for that, hooked that back up. As of right now, guys, the Jeep seems to be running perfectly fine. We're gonna take it for a test drive down the street, and this is where we're gonna find out if something is still wrong or not. So with that being said, let's go for a little spin. Instead of just driving it up and down the street this time, I decided to take it out on the road. And guys, as of right now, you know, with just resetting the PCM, it's hard to tell, but everything seems to be driving and working properly right now. We're not getting any of that putter on acceleration. Give it a little gas. Yeah, I mean, everything right now seems to be running good. I guess maybe just fixing that connection and then cleaning out the connectors for the PCM because there was a little bit of dirt in there. And I mean, guys, even the littlest bit of dirt can be causing a bad connection. It takes about 50 starts or so for the PCM to learn all the new components and stuff like that. You guys know we replaced the crankshaft position sensor. I think we might be back in business, guys. I don't want to jinx it too soon, but we're gonna take the Jeep, we're gonna drive it today, see if we have any issues. As soon as I get back, I don't have a check engine light right now, but I want to hook up the code reader just to double check and see how everything's looking, because even though you don't have a check engine light, sometimes it'll still pick up and store codes. But as of right now, guys, I think we're back in business. This is gonna be the ultimate test right here though, because after I took it up and down the street yesterday and thought everything was running fine, when I parked the Jeep, I was letting it run while I ran inside and the Jeep ended up turning off. But I mean, as of right now, guys, we don't have a rough idle or anything. It just seems to be running good. Might have just been a really bad connection between the plugs for the PCM and the PCM itself with all the dirt in there. And then not only that, but also replacing the terminals for the battery. I don't know. I think we might be good, guys. Woo! I don't know. It seems to be running good. Sometimes you end up overthinking stuff and it ends up being the most simple thing. Like here I am thinking I'm gonna need a new PCM. Honestly, I'm probably gonna be due for one soon because the PCM that's on here right now has been on this Jeep for 275,000 miles. And with all that dirt getting in there, me doing all my mudding, I thought I definitely might have shorted something out, but as of right now, it looks like it could have just been a really bad connection. I don't know, guys. We're gonna take the Jeep out today. We're gonna drive it. We got some errands that we have to run and we'll see how it holds up. Alrighty, Alrighty, so after running the Jeep for a little bit, I hooked up the code reader, guys, and we're still getting the P0123, which is a throttle position sensor voltage high. Now, one of the main causes of this, I was telling you guys, was the PCM, right? But we're not getting any PCM high voltage right now, only the throttle position sensor. So it's a good possibility that the throttle position sensor is bad. But like I said, we're gonna keep driving the Jeep today. I'm gonna go pick up a throttle position sensor just for poops and giggles, trying to keep this family friendly, guys. And we're gonna replace that. Throttle position sensors aren't too expensive. And the one that's on there right now, when I first got the Jeep, it's the spare TPS that my dad had laying around from one of his older Jeeps. So the trying to tell you guys before my camera battery ended up dying that the throttle position sensor that we ended up putting on the Jeep was one that my dad had laying around. It was off one of his old Jeeps. So it could just be that the throttle position sensor is bad. We just made it over to Napa, which is about 3.5, 4 miles away from the house, guys, and we didn't have any issues, which is definitely a good sign. I'm gonna head inside, get a new throttle position sensor. We're gonna replace that and see if that fixes the issue with the throttle position sensor voltage too high. I'm just super ecstatic right now that the Jeep is running, but I do want to replace that and hopefully prevent anything else from going wrong. But with that being said, let's head inside to Napa, get this throttle position sensor. We're gonna head back home. We're gonna replace that and hopefully everything is good from here on out. So the Napa that was closest to me, unfortunately, does not have the throttle position sensor in stock. I'm gonna have to head over to the Napa on North Midler in Syracuse. That's like their main distribution warehouse. Gonna head over there, pick up the throttle position sensor, and just hope that we don't have any issues on the way over there, because this is gonna be like a 7 or 8 mile drive right now. Looks like we might have some sort of accident up here on the parkway. I don't know if you guys can see the cops up here. I'm trying to reach over as far as I can. But 95% of the times when there's an accident on this road, there's a low bridge. There's about 85 signs that say low bridge. You're not allowed to drive any commercial vehicles on this road. But like I said, 95% of the time, that's what ends up happening. I mean, we've had trucks that get the whole top of them ripped off because they think they can make it underneath this bridge. I'll show you guys more when we get up here and see what's going on. I needed to get on this on-ramp here to be able to get on 81 and get on 690 and get off the exit, but they got it all blocked off. I don't know if they just got someone pulled over or if there was an accident. So there's a vehicle pulled over here. Doesn't look like there's any damage to her vehicle. Maybe they just had someone pulled over. I don't know why they would block off the on-ramp though, and it doesn't look like there's anything else going on up here. So we made it over to Napa, guys, no problems, and I got to thinking, you know what? Sometimes my brain just moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm always thinking about what could possibly be wrong, and sometimes I just skip the simple things. I don't think of the simple stuff. I feel like some of you guys may be able to relate to that, where your mind's going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I mean, today, not only dealing with the Jeep, but I'm also dealing with the insurance company getting the Kia done, dealing with stuff with Titan Clock. I need to head to my grandparents. I don't know if I'm gonna go today, but maybe tomorrow, help them finish setting up the garage. Like, I always have a ton of stuff going on. And I realized that I had that P0123, which is the throttle position sensor code, right? And I know when I first started the vehicle, that sensor was unplugged, so I replugged it back in. Then I got to thinking, you know what, that's probably why I was getting that code, because I started the Jeep with that unplugged. Of course, stupid Codee forgot to plug it in, but it's plugged in now. We cleared the codes. I cleared the codes at the last Napa, drove over to this Napa about 7 miles, guys, and we didn't have any issues. I'm only getting an O2 code right now. Everything seems good. There's certain parts on Jeeps that you always want to have a backup of, just in case, so I'm still gonna end up getting an extra throttle position sensor. And I also need to get a few other things here. I need to get some dielectric grease for the connections, for the TPS, the PCM, all that stuff. Dielectric grease, guys, especially living in New York with all the corrosion and stuff that happens here because of the salt on the road during the winter time. It's definitely good to always throw some dielectric grease in your connections. But as of right now, guys, the Jeep's running good. I need to get a few other things while I'm here as well. We'll see how it goes. I need to drop Rachel off at work today in a little bit, and then I need to head over to Axe Exotic Pet Shop and get my tarantula Archie, a cockroach. Gonna head over to the office, feed him, do some stuff at the office. I got a couple things I need to hang up, kind of just want to clean up a little bit as well. Over the Black Friday weekend, the office got extremely messy with all of the Titan Clock orders. Speaking of Titan Clock, if you guys haven't gotten your watches yet, the Goliath Gold and the Blackout are almost sold out, so click the link in the description, get your hands on a watch before they are sold out. Now that Black Friday is over with, it's next day shipping. Obviously, over the holiday weekend, we ended up getting over 100 orders. I had my mom helping me fulfill those. It was just us, 2 people. So if you guys experienced any delays with your shipping, I do apologize for that. But But now that we're all caught up, next day shipping, everything tight and clocked. Link in the description. Let's head into Napa and grab a few things that we need here. God, guys, I just got home. I stopped and picked Rachel up some Dunkin' Donuts. I was looking out the back door and there was just a huge falcon out here. It looks like it killed a squirrel in the backyard, which is sad, poor little squirrel. But dude, this falcon was the coolest looking bird that I've ever seen. Maybe not ever, but definitely in my backyard. I went to go grab my camera, and of course, as soon as I grabbed my camera, it flew away. So I'm hoping that he comes back so that way I can record him and show you guys. I don't know if the falcon's gonna end up coming back. I'm gonna come outside and see if maybe we can see where he flew to. Not seeing him up in the tree right now. This bird was huge, guys. Oh, there he is, there he is. Oh, he's flying away. No. Come back. He just landed in the tree back there. I don't know if you guys saw him flying over there. I'm gonna head back inside. I think he's gonna end up coming back over here to finish his food. Unfortunately, guys, that falcon didn't end up coming back. Coming back outside, just gonna throw some dielectric grease on all these connections, get that taken care of. Then we have to run and drop Rachel off at work. And then I told you guys I have to head over to the pet shop and get my tarantula Archie, a cockroach. And then we're gonna be heading to my office. I have a few things that I need to take care of, just dealing with the insurance company, getting everything with the Kia good. I still haven't even heard back on how much it's gonna cost to get it fixed, if I can even get it fixed, or if it's totaled out. I just still haven't heard anything yet. It sucks. I feel like I'm in the dark right now and I need to know what's going on because I can't just only have this one vehicle. So we just ended up dropping Rachel off at work and I just came over to Axe Exotic Pet Shop, and unfortunately every time I come over here I always forget to carry cash with me. I never bring cash with me anywhere, and it's only 32 cents for a cockroach. So I gotta dig around here, hopefully see if I can find some change. If not, I might just end up having to use my card. Guys, I really just gotta laugh sometimes. They didn't have any cockroaches over here, so I ended up getting a dozen crickets. But I come back to my Jeep and I go to unlock my door, guys, and the lock in my Jeep door just is not working now. So I had to come in through the passenger side. So I was reaching over playing with the lock and it doesn't seem to be unlocking. So now I'm gonna have to take the door apart and end up fixing the lock. We're gonna head over to the office, we're gonna feed Archie, and then I'm gonna head out to my grandparents' house and work on this Jeep in the garage where it's nice and warm. Oh man, it never fails. One thing after another with these things. Jeep, just empty every pocket. Well, I'm currently broken down in a parking lot and having the same issues that I was having before. And I know some of you guys were commenting yesterday on yesterday's vlog saying that it was the fuel pump, stuff like that. Listen, on Jeeps, when the fuel pump goes, the fuel pump goes. That's it. And the Jeep was just running perfectly fine for about 4 hours. I've driven about 40 miles today with no issues. And I just left the pet shop. I told you guys I was having problems with the lock. I was gonna take the door apart, go in there, spray some de-icer, probably end up spraying some WD-40 in there just to loosen everything up. And as soon as I leave the parking lot, I'm driving. I'm not even maybe half a mile from the pet shop right now, and the Jeep started acting up. We reset the PCM today. So when you reset the computer, it's pretty much like this Jeep has 0 miles on it. It's starting fresh. And I guess after just driving it the amount of miles that I drove it today, it's just now picking up whatever issue I was having prior. We have no codes. We have no check engine light right now, but I'm still gonna go out on a limb here and just say that my PCM has gotta be fried. I'm happy I brought my tools with me. I'm going to reset the PCM again, and hopefully it'll be good enough just to be able to get me back home. I really do need to go feed Archie right now. Oh, what an interesting day. I jinxed myself. I said the Jeep is running good. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said the Jeep is running. But the fact that I said it was running good, I ended up jinxing myself, stuck in a parking lot right now. Let's reset this powertrain control module and hopefully be able to get home. So I said screw it, got the Jeep running, made it over to the office to be able to feed Archie. And right now at this point, honestly guys, I'm hitting a dead end with the Jeep. I really do think it's something with the PCM. I'm part of a couple forum pages on Facebook, so I'm gonna reach out to this guy named Roth. Anytime my dad has issues with his Jeep that he can't seem to figure out, he always hits up this guy, and this guy knows a lot about Jeeps. So I'm gonna reach out to him right now, see if he has any insights. From my personal opinion, obviously I'm no mechanic. I can do minor stuff on vehicles here and there. I still think something is wrong with the PCM, but honestly, you guys may be getting sick of the Jeep stuff, so I'm gonna reach out to this guy on Facebook, see if we can get some more information, maybe figure out what is going on with the Jeep. One thing I definitely do like about these Jeep type vlogs is all of you guys commenting down below what you guys think is going on with the Jeep. And I had mentioned that some of you guys were saying stuff about the fuel pump, and after talking to Rafi is the guy I was just telling you about, he's also the owner of K Suspension, he was saying that from what I told him about everything that's going on, that it sounds like it's fuel delivery related. He wants me to check the fuel pressure on the fuel rail. When I had checked the fuel pressure, I didn't have a gauge, but it seems like it had a decent amount of pressure. It was pushing out fuel. But without hooking up a gauge, there's no way to accurately tell how much PSI is in the fuel rail. It's just super odd to me that the Jeep was running fine for like 4 hours, and then all of a sudden it's just acting up again. And that's why I was steering away from it being anything fuel related. But for those of you that commented the fuel pump, you guys might be right. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. My man Archie's in here right now. It looks like he's actually chowing down on some crickets as we speak. My man must have been hungry. He's got some water. So we're good to go. Archie, I will see you later on tomorrow, my guy. So I came over to the parts store, rented the gauge, and threw it on real quick, and at idle, I'm at 48 PSI. And Rafi was telling me 49 is normal, so I'm not too sure what is going on right now. It seems like we're getting adequate fuel pressure. While I went inside and came back out, I left the Jeep running, but when I came back outside, the Jeep was dead. So obviously I was having the issue. Threw the gauge on and we're getting 48 PSI, which is 1 PSI off from being normal. So I definitely don't think that's what it is. Oh man, what a tricky situation. So I'm just waiting for Rafi to message me back. I just told him the same thing that I told you guys, and we'll see what he has to say. Well guys, another whole day spent working on the Jeep. We were able to make it over to the office to feed Archie, which was really important. So I'm glad that I got that done. Still talking with Rafi right now. We ended up testing the CPS with an ohm-meter. Everything is good with that. Tomorrow, I'm gonna work on checking the fuel pump relay. It's just odd, you know, the whole reason why I was steering away from anything fuel related is this problem is so intermittent. It's random. It just happens randomly. Still no check engine lights, still no codes. I'm gonna be checking the fuel pump relay tomorrow, and I'm also gonna be testing some really overlooked sensors. The intake temp sensor, and then also the coolant temp sensor, which are on the thermostat housing. God, man, it's gonna be an interesting day. It's gonna be a really fun day. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the Jeep stuff, because there's gonna be more where that came from. So guys, after a long day of just working on the Jeep, I picked Rachel up from work. We stopped at the dollar store. She wanted to get some Christmas lights to hang up in the room. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of lights in the room, but Rachel's just trying to be in the holiday spirit, I guess.
I gotta get more.
No you don't. That's more than enough. No, we are not doing the whole room.
Yes, we are.
No, that's more than enough right there.
No.
Yes, turn the light off. Oh yeah, that is more than enough. Or else I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night because it's way too bright.
No, I just wanna do like this, the back wall.
And reverse the back wall and just leave this.
No.
Yes. Alrighty guys, another Jeep vlog. I think that is gonna wrap it up for the vlog. You know what I realized though last night at like 4:30 in the morning is I have an addiction. And I know some of you guys probably have like random addictions that you never tell anybody because it's super weird. Like for example, when I was younger, I used to eat rolls of toilet paper, clean toilet paper when I was like 6 years old. Obviously, really weird addiction, right? But last night at 4:30 in the morning, I was craving Taco Bell hot sauce. And it's to the point sometimes, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I can literally go to Taco Bell and just eat fire sauce packets. It's super, super weird. Definitely a weird addiction that I have. But last night at like 4:30 in the morning, I was literally craving Taco Bell fire sauce. But anyways, a little off topic, but that is gonna wrap it up for the vlog. I hope you guys did enjoy, guys. We gotta get this Jeep running. We gotta get this thing fixed. We're gonna be hitting the junkyard today, getting a PCM 100%. Thank you guys so much for sticking by me and supporting every single day. I appreciate it more than words can ever explain. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a new video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.